By bringing the Ender Dragon into the overworld, letting it hit you, and then teleporting all the way to the world border before crossing it with an Ender Pearl, you'll get what most people consider to be the rarest death in all of Minecraft. Player left the confines of this world whilst fighting Ender Dragon. But it's actually not the rarest death to have ever happened. Most people think it is the rarest because you first need to build this insane setup just to get the Ender Dragon into the overworld, and then travel 30 million blocks to the world border and build an Ender Pearl stasis chamber, then go back to spawn, get hit by the Ender Dragon, and then finally activate the stasis chamber and cross the world border. But the actual rarest death only happened once in the history of Minecraft. Imagine walking in a desert looking for food while being on half a heart, and then you suddenly die. You don't know what unalived you, as there were no mobs around, no pit that you fell into, nothing. You later realize that in the Nether, another player built a Nether portal. When they stepped through to go back to the overworld, it generated the link portal at the exact coordinates you're standing on, instantly suffocating you. If a player goes to all 128 strongholds and breaks the end portal in every single one, it should be impossible to go to the end and beat the game. Or is it? Since every single portal throughout the entire world is broken, there's no way to reach the end. At least that's what you think. Because there's a glitch that lets you reach the end, even in a world where every end portal is broken. Back in 1.12, players discovered that if you filled a chunk with 256 different blocks, Minecraft had to build a special registry to keep track of them. Then, players created a redstone setup called an asynchronous observer line, a huge line of observers running out of sync with the rest of the game. This tiny desync is enough to corrupt block data inside the registry, causing the game to create illegal blocks that should be completely impossible to obtain without cheats, like command blocks and barriers. Then, with a piston setup, you could force those illegal blocks into falling entities. So with perfect timing, players could glitch an end portal frame, break it with a torch, use it to repair the portal, and step into the end. This player did the impossible, beating Minecraft in a lava-only world. Now this has to be a joke. You literally die in the first 3 seconds of spawning into the world. But the one to beat it was dry fruits, and the way he did it was by playing in a slightly older version of Minecraft to abuse a glitch that gave him 3 seconds of invincibility every time he rejoined the world, letting him swim in lava without dying. Then, by selecting the world type to be a single biome and selecting it to the nether wastes, the game was forced to spawn nether mobs like the Strider, which drops string on death. So after unaliving 200 Striders, Dry Fruits crafted all of the string into wool blocks and built a platform. After editing the world files to change the world dimension to the overworld, he waited for a zombie holding a shovel to spawn so he could obtain it. So if it started snowing, he could mine the snow layers and get an infinite supply of snow blocks. Then, after bridging out to a snowy taiga biome, he waited for a fox to appear with an emerald since he could steal it and trade those emeralds to a wandering trader to get dirt, a water bucket, and most importantly, a sapling, allowing him to get an infinite supply of wood. Then, by unaliving endermen that spawn on the platform in blazes in the nether, he beat the game. This Minecraft seed does something so rare that, to my knowledge, no other world in the history of Minecraft has ever done it. It only happens on this exact seed in Minecraft version 1.16. But at first glance, nothing looks out of place. No special mobs, no awkward terrain, nothing. In fact, you could spend days exploring, traveling hundreds of thousands of blocks, and still find absolutely nothing unusual. That's because the actual anomalies don't begin until you reach the stronghold. When you find the portal room, you'd expect to fill in the end portal. Or maybe, if you're insanely lucky, stumble across a fully lit end portal. But no, you find something much more rare. Only half the portal is lit. This happened because the end portal was split across multiple chunks. But this is not what makes the seed so special, because there's a surprise waiting in the end that only ever occurs on this specific seed, making her fight with the Ender Dragon 1,000 times harder. If you jump into the portal, you'll find a naturally spawning Elder Guardian in the end. This seed somehow caused an ocean monument in the stronghold to generate in the same exact spot. And the Elder Guardian spawn point just so happened to be right inside the portal room, so it goes through the portal and goes into the end. This Minecraft data pack causes cows to stand up and shoot milk at you. This data pack, made by ISN, is supposed to make Minecraft impossible by taking every step of speedrunning Minecraft and adding a quirky yet extremely deadly twist. For example, If you try to gather wood from mining a tree, it explodes. But if you try to get wood from going to a village and mining the planks off the houses, villagers will stop you. You could try to loot a chest instead, but oh wait, you can't, because they'll shoot you with the water pew pew. Even resource gathering isn't safe anymore, because if you try to mine for iron, you have to fight baby golems to get it. And don't even think about getting food, because pigs will jump into the air and body slam the ground. Chickens will turn into homing missiles, and sheep will explode. If you somehow make it to the Nether, you'll have to go through overpowered blazes while having to avoid waves of lava and OP soul sand, as you can't move and start withering. But if you somehow survive everything and make it all the way to the end, you'll be given a guide on how to unalive the dragon, as it has 3 lives, 4 new attacks, and is so hard to unalive that even on easy mode, it took me over an hour to win. If you fly 158,700 blocks into the sky, then fall all the way down to the ground and hit a mob with the mace, while having the strength 2 effect, it'll deal 1,001,095 damage, which according to this YouTuber is the highest damage the mace can possibly deal. But what if I told you that there's a weapon that can actually deal even more damage? Now you might be thinking, why not just fall from even higher to deal more damage? And it's because with 4 unbreaking 3 elytras and a full inventory of firework rockets, you physically can't go higher than 158,700 blocks in the sky. So if the mace maxes out there, what weapon could possibly break that limit? An arrow? You might be confused because you can fully wind up a bow and not even be able to unalive a cow in one hit. But arrows deal more damage the faster they're moving. So how fast would an arrow have to go to deal more damage than the mace? Well, a regular bow shot doesn't even come close, but you can use TNT to launch the arrow to go even faster. So according to my math, lighting 200,219 TNT would launch the arrow at 500,547 blocks per second, enough to outdamage the mace. You can locate any player on any server just by breaking a block, and it all started with a simple mistake. Back in Minecraft Beta 1.8, the creator Notch introduced villages, along with a random number generator that decided where the villages should spawn in the world. But he made just one tiny mistake. Multiple features in the game started using the exact same RNG, including things that had nothing to do with villages. Fast forward to Minecraft 1.12, and woodland mansions are added to the game. To decide where these might spawn, the game quietly attempts to spawn a woodland mansion somewhere in the world every time a new chunk is loaded by a player, through setting a random seed using the same RNG that decides where villages spawn, even if the game ends up not spawning anything. But here's the crazy part. The exact same RNG that checks to see where a woodland mansion can spawn is also used to decide where dropped items land when you break a block. That means when you mine a block, its drop location is actually tied to the coordinates of the last mansion generation attempt, which happens to be the last chunk someone loaded. Through this exploit called Randar, players could reverse engineer the coordinates of where someone recently was. There are seeds that claim to be unbeatable, like this seed recently discovered by Dylan DC14, which spawns a player in a ruined portal inside of a lava lake. But by breaking a few pieces of gravel, placing them above the lava, waiting for an enderman to spawn, and finally unaliving it and getting an ender pearl, you can actually escape. But there were seeds that existed in previous versions of Minecraft that were completely unbeatable. If you generate a world with this seed in Minecraft version 1.8.9, you spawn in a completely ridiculous— oh wait, this is a normal spawn. In fact, you could play on this world for days and travel hundreds of thousands of blocks in the overworld or nether and still not find anything remotely suspicious at all. It's only when you get to the stronghold when you notice what's truly wrong with this seed. As you approach the stronghold, you see an ocean monument that spawned right next to it. No big deal, just avoid it. But when you go into the portal room, you will discover something that you never would have imagined to see. The ocean monument cut off the end portal. But that's not even the thing that makes the seed so incredible, because all of the strongholds are blocked off by ocean monument. This challenge sounds impossible, but someone actually did it, beating Minecraft with every negative effect applied. At first glance, it already sounds incredibly difficult because of effects like weakness, slowness, hunger, poison, and blindness. But it's much, much more difficult, because even something as simple as spawning into the world is made a billion times harder, since levitation sends you flying endlessly in the sky unless something blocks your path. On top of that, because of the infestation effect, there's a 10% chance the silverfish spawns on you every time you take damage. So if you heal from eating, you'll take damage from the poison, and the silverfish might spawn and finish you off. And did I mention that this was also completed in hardcore mode? Well, the one to beat it was that fat goose, and the way he did it was by making sure he spawned under a tree to get wood and crafted a boat to travel around without flying into the air, finding a village to trade for a bow with power 4 and infinity so he could deal tons of damage and not have to worry about the weakness effect, along with ender pearls and a looting 3 sword. He then found a completable ruined portal in the ocean and bartered with piglins for fire resistance, killed blazes, located the stronghold, and manipulated the dragon's AI with just a single water bucket to finish it off easier. But I've actually been lying this entire time because he didn't have the wither effect when he attempted it. So 1 million likes and I'll do it for real. This is one of the most impossible builds ever. A skyblock island in a regular survival. Now your first instinct would be to build the skyblock island at the height limit, but you can still easily see the ground, making it obvious that you aren't playing skyblock. So to make it look legit, you need to clear hundreds of millions of blocks, a task that will take years even with the best tools. However, the way the Minecraft server members cleared out all of the blocks when they built their own skyblock island was by building world eaters, ginormous redstone machines that duplicate TNT to absolutely shred through blocks. However, even with these world eaters, it would still take over a week. And this is just the easy part, because you now have to go through one of the most excruciating tasks in all of Minecraft, breaking the millions of bedrock. Usually it takes about 2 to 3 minutes to break one bedrock, which at this scale would take decades to clear. But by building this machine, the Minecraft server members slowly chipped away at the bedrock, running the machine for months until they finally built survival skyblock. Scaffolding is one of the most useful blocks in all of Minecraft. Now that may sound like a joke since scaffolding is used for scaffolding, except it isn't even very good at that either, because every time you build up into the sky and try bridging out, it'll fall to the ground every 6 blocks, so you have to build another pillar just to bridge out another 6 blocks. On top of that, when you want to clean up the mess, you have to jump down and break every single pillar instead of just retracing your steps like with other blocks. And even though you can't normally fall through the scaffolding, you can still glitch through it and fall to your death. But there is one feature of the scaffolding block that makes it incredibly overpowered. Let's say you join a server and see a base that looks easy to raid. You walk up to it to try to find anything sus, but everything looks normal. But the second you open the door and walk into the base, you're already doomed. You walk into a storage room and start looting it, but beneath the carpet is a bunch of scaffolding. So I sneak into my secret room, break one single scaffolding block, and the entire floor collapses, making you fall to your death. This base, built by Coords, is claimed to be the safest base in all of Minecraft, with multiple layers, each with their own insane form of defense. Except this base is trash, because you can literally get into the base by either using an elytra, a Riptide 3 trident, and an ender pearl, or even just by digging underneath the base, sprinting to the middle, and blowing yourself upward, and using a minecart to enter. So maybe you think the safest base is one made entirely of bedrock. I mean, no one can even mine through it, so it's gotta be safe, right? Well, by using the tips shared by this YouTuber, you can go through a 1, 2, or even 3 block wide bedrock wall. Or you could also eat a Coords fruit, or even build a nether portal at the exact coordinates to place a portal inside the base. So what actually is the safest base in all of Minecraft? This one behind me is. Now you might be confused, how is this seemingly normal base with absolutely no defenses so safe? It's as simple as finding the base and literally just opening the door and walking in, right? Well, good luck finding it since it's completely hidden. No, seriously, because it's over 6 million blocks away from spawn.